Fasting does multiple things, but what it does is it tells our flesh, one, I have rule over you. You can rule over your flesh. Your flesh doesn't have to rule you. Spiritually, you can rule over all the fleshly things that the enemy tries to do to have doors in your life to get you to not live for God. So I would challenge you to find food. Every week I'm going to remind you of this. Why? Because February 2nd, we're fasting. February 2nd through the 23rd. And I want every person in this room to participate. And I know every person in this room has different areas and challenges in your own life. So one, I would ask the Lord what to fast. One of my children, my children participate in this fast with us every year. So this is a family thing we do, right? I don't do anything that I don't ask you and my own children to do and myself, right? So one of my children said to me this last week, last year was really hard fasting. Out of the blue, they said this, right? I won't tell you who it was just for the sake of keeping the conversation private, but giving you an example, right? And one of my children said this, and they out of their own blue, out of their own self, they said, it was really hard, Daddy, fasting last year. Well, I said, yeah, fasting's hard. They said, no. I did what I thought I should fast instead of asking God what I should have fasted. And they fasted sugar, right? And that's not like there's sugar in our house a lot anyway. But the reality is that any sugary treat, they just decided they were giving up for 21 days. They said, Dad, fasting is usually not that hard. And they felt like the Holy Spirit revealed to them that it was hard because they did what they thought they should do instead of asking the Lord what they should do. So I said, so how are you fasting this year? They said, I don't know, but I'm asking God first. I said, that's a good idea. So I'd challenge you. I'd put the same challenge out to you, right? Fasting, you go, man, it's going to be hard. I mean, we talked about Isaiah 58 last week, right? Isaiah 58 was, is this not the fast I have chosen for you to loose the bond of wickedness, to break those things? So I want you to understand that in that, what happens is that if the Lord chooses it, it really isn't burdensome if you know the Lord's in it. So I challenge you, ask the Lord how you should fast. As I've stated before, it's food. I know there are other churches out there, they'll do 1 week food, 1 week social media, 1 week something else. I'm sorry, that's lazy. I called it what it is. A fast is food. So now I'm not saying it's not wrong to fast social media, it's not wrong to fast TV, it's not wrong to fast those things. I'm just telling you that a biblical fast is food. And anyone that uses something else is giving you a lazy way of doing it. 21 days of some type of food. That's what I'm challenging you with. And you go, Brad, I take medications. I have to eat. Okay, that's fine. But you don't have to eat certain things, right? You can still pick something. As I've used this example before. I had a friend in college, and one of the campus pastors in the ministry that I attended in college, and he picked something every month. So he actually fasted one thing every single month throughout the year. And he loved Mountain Dew. Everybody knew this guy loved it. He always had a bottle of Mountain Dew, right? And so the Lord one day told him, you're going to fast Mountain Dew next month. And he goes, God, you sure that's you? Right? I don't think that's you, God. So he didn't fast. He picked something else. And again, like my daughter, he found out, man, he said, it was awful. It was the worst fast I had ever done because I did what I wanted to do, not what God asked me to do. So the next month, God said, are you going to fast Mountain Dew? He said, yes, sir. He fasted Mountain Dew. So again, I would challenge you. What's something you really enjoy, something that you love, right? It's food, right? Because what you're doing is we put food on a pedestal, we make it an idol. Imagine that. That's what it is, right? If you can't have it, you can't live without it, it's a dependency. So I would challenge you. What is it God is asking you to fast? And ask Him and do it. I believe it. The Lord, if He's challenging you to fast one thing, right? And someone else says they're giving up and they're only eating water and drinking something, doing smoothies or something like that. And you compare them, right? It doesn't matter. It's not a comparison. It's not one person is more spiritual than another. It's that you both are listening to what God is asking you to do, right? And what he's asking you to do, he can do. So imagine if you were just obedient for 21 days, what that does. You know what's funny is, you know what science says? To start a new habit, do you know what you have to do? 3 days, 21 days makes a difference. 21 days breaks a habit. Find that interesting, don't you? So that's why we're doing this. 3 weeks. Ask the Lord what it is and make it a family thing. I really do. I would challenge you. Doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you go, hey, I have medications, or I'm in sports, or you know what, I'm a consistent worker outer and I can't go without all food. That's fine. Ask the Lord and do it.